Sometimes things could be okay, but there will be one thing that pushes everything over the edge to make it a negative situation. And that's why I wanted to tell my story about being in Bali. I went to Bali in 2018 for my friend John's wedding. It was one of my classmates, and his wife is Indonesian. So he was having his wedding in Bali, which is beautiful. You've seen pictures. It's a gorgeous place. I was so excited to be there and experience Indonesia or experience Bali in particular. But there were some things that made the experience not so good. And this is just for those of you that, you know, for those of you that are like, oh, well, this person said that Bali is bad, so I'm not going to go there. Every person's experience is different. Like, you know, there's a lot of videos talking about how in Italy, it's not good for black travelers, but I had a good experience. My cousin had a decent experience while living there, and I have friends that have lived in Italy that have had no problems. But yeah, so going into my Bali experience. Firstly, the hotel that I chose, just because, again, I wasn't making a lot of money, wasn't that great. And it was a little bit seedy. It was in a more seedy area of Bali. I believe the area is called Kuta, which is like a little, I don't want to say dangerous, but it's a little bit more. And there's, you know, prostitution and brothels. Am I allowed to say that P word? Well, there's ladies of the night and brothels and all that stuff. So me and my friend Anna, who we shared a room, we were walking around and we're like, ooh, this does not look safe. And it was really funny. Sorry, we were trying to find our back to our hotel after meeting our friends, and we ended up walking all the way around like Kuta, and it turned out like it literally took us like an hour to walk from our hotel back around to our hotel. And I'm like, and I generally have a good sense of a direction, but we ended up walking a full circle when we could have literally just cut through it. It would have been 15 minutes instead of an hour. So that was kind of annoying. Then someone stole money out of my hotel room. And I think the guy the cleaner was depending on the fact that the tourists were supposed to be drunk so that he could take the money without them noticing. But I noticed, one, because I don't drink like that, and two, like, especially at that time, I didn't have a lot of money. So I was very cautious about the money. And number three, my friend, there was no good ATM around by my area, so I was going to wait until we got to the hotel for my friend's wedding. And my friend Annika had lent me money. So the guy took that money that my friend lent me. And then when I brought it up to the security guard, he was just like, oh, you know, maybe you were drunk. And I was like, no, I wasn't. I know how much money I had. And I don't think that's right that someone stole money out of my wallet. I'm a tourist here. I understand that I'm a guest in your country, but please I don't think it's like right to steal from me. And then he was like, and then randomly brought up the fact, he's like, he was a darker skinned Indonesian man. He's like, well, yeah, in this country, I'm considered black too. So you have to, like, you know, understand. I'm just like, bro, what does that have to do with anything? Your hotel staff stole from me. And you're trying to make it a racial thing. What the hell? Then when we were partying in, I forget the name of the area in Bali, but it was like a party area. Seminyak. It was called Seminyak. And, you know, it was cool, whatever. I don't really like parties, but it was, you know, vibes around my friends. But on our way back, this random creepy guy was following us on a motorbike. And, you know, me, I'm very aware, so I had my purse on the inside, but I think he was trying to snatch purses, and it was just like, that experience made it kind of bad too. Then on top of that, I was single. It was 2 years since I broke up with my ex-boyfriend. So, and I don't know, for some reason that messed me up a lot. So I was like super lonely. And Bali, on the beaches, like, you see people with their families and their like loved ones and stuff, but I felt lonely as fuck, and it was sad. Like, so all that made my experience bad. But would I go back to Bali? Yes. But I want to, make sure I go into, like, people rent, like, houses or condos in that area. But I would want to try to do it equitable for the people of Bali. So I'm not, like, being, like, one of those tourists that are taking advantage. So just a nice area where I'm in, like, a private house. Number two, I would go with a significant other, or like make it like a couples trip and go with my friends who have like significant others. And three, yeah, I would not go to Kuta. So yeah, that's my Bali experience. Tell me about your experience in Bali.